Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started here with a chain 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. If you don't know how to do a chain like this, I'll be linking my beginner crochet course below where I teach you how to do all of this stuff. But if you do know how to do a single crochet and a chain, then we can continue with the pattern. So we did a chain 20. Now what I'm going to do is chain one more time, and in the second stitch from the hook, so not this chain but this chain, I'm going to single crochet. Then what I'm going to do is single crochet down the entire line. As a side note, if you want to crochet more or less and you want to make your envelope bigger or smaller, you can do that. You don't have to do 20. It's really up to you. So what I'm going to do now is pause the video here and crochet all the way down your line, whether that be 20 or whatever that you want it to be, and meet me back when you're done. Okay, so I've just finished crocheting down my line. Now what I'm going to do is chain 1, turn my work, and crochet all the way back down the line. What I'm going to do here is pause the video and crochet my 23 rows. I'm personally crocheting 23 because I want it to be a square when I'm done with it. If you've done more, you might have to crochet more or less depending on how many you've done in your row. But for me, I'm going to make my envelope 20 by 23. And I'm going to pause the video here because the pattern is exactly the same throughout the entire thing. You're just basically making a square of single crochet, making sure to chain 1 after every single round. So go ahead and pause the video here and meet me back here when you've finished with your square envelope. Alright, just finished my row of 23. Now what I'm going to do is finish off. So chain 1, cut my work, and weave in my end. Now, I'm going to take my square, turn it on its side like this, and fold all 3 corners inward, like this. You may have to fiddle with it a little bit to get it exactly where you want it, but now I have a little envelope. It is a little fiddly at first, but there you go. You have your envelope. So now what you want to do is we're going to sew these 3 parts down. Just sew them down here. So the easiest way that I found to do this is I'm going to take my white yarn, cut off a good size piece because we're going to use a lot, our sewing needle, and the first thing I'm going to do is sew this part down as much in the middle as I can get it. If you want and you don't think you'll be able to keep this in place, you can pin it. I'm going to start sewing this corner here because this is exactly where I want it. And if I start sewing here, I won't have to worry about pinning it. It'll be held in place as I'm sewing. And you don't want to go too far when you're sewing. So I don't want to go way out here when I'm sewing. I want to stay kind of close as I can so that my stitches when I'm sewing will be less noticeable. And of course you are using the same color yarn that you're using for the project, so it shouldn't be too noticeable though. But so just gonna weave in and out, kind of go just through every single stitch. You don't really have to sew this one down if you don't want to. You could probably sew the two corners at the same time, like fold this one over and then just sew both of them. But I am going to try this method and see if it works better. Alright. Now I'm just going to sew this little corner down so that it doesn't get all bumpy. Alright, there. Now I think what I'm going to do, since I'm already over here, I'm going to sew this end down as well. So I'm just going to fold it over and kind of get it right on the corner there. Let's see, kind of fiddle with it to where I want it to be. I'm trying to get it to be as like flat as possible, I guess you could say. So alright, there. So now I have the second end sewed. Now I'm going to fit that one probably there. Yeah, there looks pretty good. I'm just gonna go and sew this corner in so that is sewed down exactly in the place I want it. Let me get that edge right there. Alright, there. Now I have a little envelope. If you wanted, you could potentially crochet these three together without crocheting through the whole thing, because obviously now I can't really get into my envelope. So you can probably, I wouldn't maybe crochet them together. I, to be honest, didn't even consider that. That's okay. I'm probably not going to be putting anything in this anyway, so now you can sew this one down if you want. If you want it to be a closed letter, I'm going to keep mine open because I think that looks fine that way. Now I'm just going to tie off my string here and kind of loop it back and forth through the work, just like so. And then cut that, cut that. Now we're going to be moving on to the heart that I promised you in the last video that we'd be sewing on. So there's a couple different variations that you can do with this. As I said, you can crochet this so that it's not, so that you can actually put stuff in there if you wanted. You can crochet this on here like this. You can crochet it on the back if you want a closed letter like this. You can crochet it like this, which would be really cute. If you're crocheting this down, you can, or if you're sewing this down, you could put the heart here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it here, leave the letter open and available to be kind of stuck in there. So, you know, you can really put it wherever you want. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to leave mine open. You shouldn't need too much red string to sew this together. Sew this on. So I'm just going to use a little bit. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I have my heater on in the background. It's really cold in here, so hopefully you can't hear it, and if you can, it keeps kicking on. I apologize. It's just honestly too cold to be in here without the heater on. Okay, anyway. So I'm just gonna, I think, just gonna start straight in the middle here, and then with this one, you want to make sure you don't sew straight through, because you'll be able, this isn't like the same color string, obviously, you'll be able to see it from the back. So I'm going to be careful here and make sure that I sew on the inside of it. so that I won't be able to see from the back side. And I'm just going to go in a couple different places on the heart and try and make it so the heart's not going to fall off. Secure. Alright, just gonna tie mine off. Nice and easy. And cut. Alright. And there you have it. There is your crochet love letter. Like I said, there's a bunch of different alternatives that you could have for this pattern. You can make your envelope any size. You just have to make sure that it's a square, so that you can, in the end, so that you can do this. There's millions of other ways you can do it as a rectangle too. You can make sure that you can open it, you can close it, you can put the heart anywhere. With my video tutorials, my patterns, I like to make it kind of open to creativity. You can also make your envelope any color, any heart any color. If you don't know how to make this heart, I did it in the previous video. So there'll be a link to that down below, as well as the link to how to do any of these stitches if you don't know how to do them. The pattern for this will be on my blog. Like, comment, and subscribe on the video for more stuff like this. I also just recently did a crochet granny square heart the very beginning of February, in the spirit of Valentine's Day, of course. So you can go ahead and check that out if you're willing, if you want to do more Valentine's Day crochet. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.